Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal, and on Diwali special, we are discussing the tax aspects and the tax outlook going forward with Dinesh Kanabar as well as Mukesh Butani. Now, we were talking about the telecom sector. Now, Dinesh Kanabar, we have also seen the gaming industry getting the GST shocker. It has derailed the entire business model, and the investors which have looked at this and invested in the sector are also flummoxed right now. How do you see this particular demand coming up, which the government has clearly stated it was always there?
Yeah, so we have a very peculiar situation. We have an amendment to the law which specified how the tax should be calculated. And there was an ongoing litigation in favor of the taxpayer. And then the revenue taking a stand that this is what the law was always, whatever we have done is merely to clarify. So the stand of the revenue is this is not retrospective in nature. We always wanted to tax you on the gross investment that you make in the industry. And the point really is that if that is not how the industry understood, and law, of course, does not go by your understanding, law is what it is written about. But the fact that you needed to clarify, the fact that for years the industry never took this particular view, and the fact that if you now, indirect tax by definition, Nisha, is a pass-through tax.
Yes.
I collect and I pay.
Yes.
Okay. I would have, if that was the understanding, I would have collected more, whatever be the impact on the industry, but I would have collected more, restructured myself, done whatever I need to do. I wasn't doing that. Correct. I never did that. I did not collect it. Today I am saddled with demands of ranging from 60,000 to 1,10,000 crores. And you are talking about threatening the existence of entities. You are aware, for example, a writ petition has been filed before the Goa bench of the Bombay High Court, and that has granted a stay, at least at this point of time, from recovery, etc. So again, we are talking about numbers which are enormous. Then there is going to be this interest over the years.
Yes.
Totally inconsistent with what the industry has understood it.
That's right.
The government could have come back and said, this is how we want going forward. Okay, you like it to be in this country, if you want to exit, no issues. Okay,
yeah.
Because then you know the law, you are working. But when you go back and say that it's going to be applicable from years ago, that's a problem.
So retrospective, this is one word which haunts the investors as well as the companies. Mukesh, how do you look at this particular aspect and the retrospective, aspect of tax?
My view is that this gaming is clearly retrospective, and it's unconstitutional. There's no doubt about it. What courts will take a view is something which is court's prerogative, because what the gaming industry has, what the GST Council has done is said that. So there's already a Karnataka High Court decision which is before the Supreme Court, where they have said that this is not a game of chance, this is a game of skill.
Yes.
Now for the GST Council to come back and said, no, we are not just now clarifying whether it's a game of chance or a game of skill, there is GST applicable. They've gone further and said it will apply retrospectively. So I think the courts will have to deal with it, because this is a clear dispute arising out of a retrospectivity principle. Now, it's one thing to say there's nothing that stops the legislature and the parliament from legislating a retrospective law, but nothing can be more apparent than this, that this is clearly an afterthought after the Union of India lost the case in Karnataka High Court.
All right. Any final
I just supplement,
we have only 2 minutes.
Sure. So the point earlier which Mukesh made, which was so important, that before matters go, are there really senior people? And I believe that here is one case where even within the government there is no unanimity.
Right. So there are many aspects to this, and many ministries also involved in it. But final word on how do we see going forward, more litigations on tax aspect, or is there clarity emerging?
So there's one other aspect which is worrying me, which is that when you see lots of raids happening on tax side, I'm talking not about the political issues there. And what happens is that in a raid, even before anything is concluded, you are right out there in the media talking about how much escaped income you have found, what you have confiscated. And if you go back, history will show that maybe not even 10% of this actually survives in appeal. In the meantime, you are impacting companies' reputation, market capitalization, and whatever else. And again, there needs to be some degree of sanctity to saying that there are taxpayers' issues which are confidential and which can't be put into public domain like that.
All right, that confidentiality is required. Otherwise, the trust deficit that I started with, that widens
Correct.
between the tax department as well as the companies and investors. So tax clarity is what we wish for. Even if it's a higher rate, the investor community at least have been telling me that at least give us certainty and then we'll bake in our IRR according to the tax rate, but do not change it in the middle. Okay. All right, thank you so much, Dinesh Kanabar as well as Mukesh Butani, for joining us on this special edition on Diwali. With that, it's a wrap on Big Deal. Wish you all a very happy Diwali.